It is time for reasoning patriots to collectively commit to defending the United States Constitution from those seeking to destroy it. Constitution of the United States of America, Amendment 2, 1789. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. The Constitution of the United States affords its citizens and residents many rights that those of other countries can only dream to inherit from their forebears. In our modern day, the Second Amendment has stirred up much controversy, mostly by those on the left. Liberal media talking heads bloviate that the founding fathers of our great nation never intended for all citizens to bear arms, and that it can be rescinded by the state with the enactment of new legislations. And many of the elite in our country tend to agree with that flawed reasoning. That said, if there should ever be ambiguity for modern readers with the words written in the Constitution, then one must look back in history as a guide and see what the founding fathers of our great republic wrote concerning these matters. So let us now take a journey back in time and explore together a sampling of the founding fathers' views towards an armed citizenry. No free man shall ever be debarred the use of arms. Thomas Jefferson, 1776. A free people ought not only be armed, but disciplined. George Washington, 1790. I ask, who are the militia? They consist now of the whole people, except a few public officers. George Mason, Address to the Virginia Ratifying Convention, June 1788. They that can give up essential liberty to obtain a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. Benjamin Franklin, 1759. 2. Disarm the people is the most effectual way to enslave them. George Mason, 1788. What country can preserve its liberties if their rulers are not warned from time to time that their people preserve the spirit of resistance? Let them take arms. Thomas Jefferson, 1787. The Constitution shall never be construed to prevent the people of the United States who are peaceable citizens from keeping their own arms. Samuel Adams, Massachusetts Ratifying Convention, 1788. This may be considered as the true palladium of liberty. The right of self-defense is the first law of nature. In most governments, it has been the study of rulers to confine this right within the narrowest limits possible. Whenever standing armies are kept up, and the right of the people to keep and bear arms is, under any color or pretext whatsoever, prohibited, liberty, if not already annihilated, is on the brink of destruction. George Tucker, 1803. The Constitution of most of our states and of the United States assert that all power is inherent in the people, that they may exercise it by themselves, that it is their right and duty to be at all times armed. Thomas Jefferson, 1824. 40 years ago, when the resolution of enslaving America was formed in Great Britain, the British Parliament was advised by an artful man who was governor of Pennsylvania to disarm the people, that it was the best and most effectual way to enslave them, but that they should not do it openly, but weaken them and let them sink gradually by totally disusing and neglecting the militia. George Mason, Virginia Ratifying Convention, June 14th, 1788. Besides the advantage of being armed, which the Americans possess over the people of almost every other nation, the existence of subordinate governments to which the people are attached and by which the militia officers are appointed forms a barrier against the enterprises of ambition, more insurmountable than any which a simple government of any form can admit of. James Madison, Federalist Papers No. 48, February 1st, 1788. Whenever governments mean to invade the rights and liberties of the people, they always attempt to destroy the militia in order to raise an army upon their ruins. Elbridge Gerry, 1789. To suppose arms in the hands of citizens to be used at individual discretion, except in private self-defense or by partial orders of towns, counties, or districts of a state, is to demolish every constitution and lay the laws prostrate, so that liberty can be enjoyed by no man. It is a dissolution of the government. The fundamental law of the militia is that it be created, directed, and commanded by the laws, and ever for the support of the laws. John Adams, 1787. That the people have a right to mass and to bear arms, that a well-regulated militia composed of the body of the people, trained to arms, is the proper, natural, and safe defense of a free state, that standing armies in time of peace are dangerous to liberty and therefore ought to be avoided. George Mason, 1790. Any self-respecting conservative constitutionalist patriot would much rather source historical documents from the Founding Fathers themselves expressing their own views on the Second Amendment than be advised by some uninformed political hack on television or by a radical political activist judge sitting on a circuit court bench. That said, it is indeed self-evident to all that can reason the Founding Fathers intended for all American citizens to have the right to bear arms at all times, for a right is not a privilege. Therefore, it can never be taken away, for it was given to you at birth by God. The preservation of such freedoms was bequeathed to all liberty-loving patriots today. Therefore, it is our birthright and duty to defend the Second Amendment as written and intended. As descendants of the great American true patriots that preceded us, let us continue to honor their legacy and ensure the inheritance of these sacred liberties to our children. John Adams summed it up nicely when he said, "You will never know how much it cost my generation to preserve your freedom. I hope you will make a good use of it." May God bless the United States.